What's up, guys? Can you see me? I know it's more difficult behind these drums, but I can see you. Okay, man. So, I figured time for another drum lesson. Stryper the Way, Robert Sweet. Heaven of a good drummer, man. So, I've always liked this beat, and this wasn't a request. This is one I just wanted to do. And I took it from where Michael Sweet starts singing. So it's the verse, and it's the dominant beat through this whole song. Okay, so here's what the beat does. I'm going to slow it down. That's the basic beat. Now I'm going to show you the couple fillers that are in there. It's not a big chunk of the song I'm showing you, but it's, if you learn the beat alone, it's cool. Okay, so have some in-between stuff going on. That tends to be a little trickier. But here's what you want to do. You're going to start with the kick and the hi-hats. Hi-hats are slightly opened. I like that breathy sound, you know. Adjust your hi-hats accordingly. And here's what you want to do. Hit the kick and hi-hat together. So we have. And the way I'm going to explain this, because I do this with my drum students, is because we're doing stuff on the in-betweens, think of it when the stick comes up, you're going to hit the kick drum again. So we have, and then you're going to hit snare and hi-hat together. So we have so far. Then put the kick drum right after that. Okay, so let's play those four things. Subgroup, man, that's the key to this stuff. Alright, so, wait. And then hit the kick with the hi-hat. The hi-hat is just doing this. The kick and snare is doing this. Now, I remember when I first started learning, you know, I could play some of the beats like this, but sometimes I couldn't incorporate the hi-hat with the kick and snare pattern that I was doing. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. I've noticed with the drum students I have, that is a key thing. If I'm showing them something that's just everything's, for example, the AC/DC beat, as I call it, just going, that's easier because everything's hitting together. Either a kick and a hi-hat the same, and a snare and a hi-hat the same. Okay, that's why that's a good foundational beat. I think that's similar to the first beat that I showed on this channel. It's when you start adding more kick or more snare hits or a drum roll in the middle of things get more complex. So memorize the kick snare pattern in your head first of all. Kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. And then build it, man. Like the way I explained it right at the beginning is a good way to approach this. Okay? In other words, okay, I did three things. Get used to that, even though it's tiny, man. It's a little chunk, right? So, and then build the next little piece, and then the next little piece, and then you'll have the whole beat, okay? So here's what you just learned. Snare and hi-hat at the end, by the way. That's the beat. Three times I just played it. Then you go kick and hi-hat, and then kick when your stick's up here, think of it that way. And then go snare, crash. So we have snare and crash together, and you hit that kick before it. So it's, there's a subgroup. Little tiny thing, right? But that's, if you think of it, in a larger form, you've just done two subgroups. One being, and the other one being, piece them together. Robert plays that twice, so you end up going. He has more cymbals, guys. My studio's tore apart. I have more cymbals, but right now I'm having to do all my cymbal hits on here, and I think I did one on my ride. But if you have multiple cymbals, alternate them, because you don't want the same tone off of a cymbal for all your things. So Robert's like going, you got a cymbal here, and then this one. The smaller the cymbal, the different the tone. The bigger, the different the tone. Okay? So here's what we just played. Okay? Then, the next time around, you play the same thing. And 3 more times, right? So you have 3 times of a beat and a little fill-in drum riff. 3 times of that beat again and another fill-in riff. And here's the second fill-in riff. Right, left on the snare, and then hit your cymbal with your kick. So there's another element we've just brought into this, right? 3 things now. The beat, and then the second subgroup we did, we went back to the beat, and then we just did. And a lot of times, not always, if you're pretty new on drums, when drummers go to hit a cymbal, a lot of times there's a kick with it. It gives it more oomph, more impact, like an exploding bomb, hand grenade in your face. Now that's metal. Alright guys, so we went then, except you don't have to catch the cymbal. Then go tom 1, right left, tom 2, right left, and then kick in your cymbal again. Kick in your cymbal. Kick it with your foot. Okay, so we have. That's kidding. I was kidding. So you see what I mean there? We had 4 hits on the snare. Boom. Kick cymbal. Instead of doing the same thing, Robert split it up. And this is a cool thing where drums really becomes mathematic. And if it helps for you to think of drums in a mathematic way, do it. But basically 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. But he split the 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Instead of on the snare doing 4 hits, he took 2 hits on tom 1, 2 hits on tom 2. So it's basically like going, but utilizing everything you have on your kit. Okay? And then the beat just starts back over. But you'll hit a cymbal on the start of it. So just imagine going back to the beginning of the song, but you're starting with. You know what I mean? But not that last hit on this one. So here's everything we learned. And slow it down, guys. If you have to slow it down, do it. But try it in your head. Memorize this to where you don't have to read it and have it all charted out. It can be done. And that's how I teach my students. I have a drum tab method, but the goal is to get them to just be able to feel it and play it by heart naturally. Okay? So here's what we did. Starting it all over, but starting with the kick and crash. So there you go, Stryper, The Way. And yes, it's a small part of the song, but the beat is what carries most of that song. So get familiar with your beats. Now you've got a few little drum fills with accents in them. I suggest, and I did this and I still do it, if you got a loud enough stereo, man, or put headphones on and play along with these songs. Put The Way on and see if you can just, forward it up to the verse and try to play along with it. If you can't do it, shut it off and then practice it some more. You'll get faster at it. And once it's in your head and you understand the mechanics of what you're playing, I promise you it will come together. Don't give up on it and don't settle for sloppiness. Make sure what you're doing is clean and it's defined and that you know what's going on. Alright, so thanks for tuning in on this drum lesson. I think it's my 3rd one, and I'll try to be more consistent, getting more drum stuff out to you. Feel free to make requests for drum songs, and obviously, if you guys have been following me, I do guitar as well, and bass. So request whatever you want, and I'll get them to you the way these bands are actually playing them. And if I can't, I won't do it. Okay, so if you're sending me some crazy Terry Bozzio or Dennis Chambers thing, I'll just say, dude, I'll send you to my friend Henry Rodriguez down the hill from the Jazz Junkies. He's the man. But I can take on a good chunk of it for you guys. So subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done that yet, go for it. If you're a guitar player, I've got my Ultimate Beginner's Guide DVD I'm also doing Skype lessons. Eventually maybe for drums, I don't know. But right now, guitar, bass, and vocals. Just hit me up, rockinguitarlessons@hotmail.com. And my website is coming soon, rockinguitarlessons.com. It will have everything on it, you guys, but if you're a drummer, don't join that. It's going to be opening in December of 2012. Don't pay the money to join it until I let you know, because there's got to be enough drum stuff on it. And to be honest with you, it's going to take me quite a few months to have enough guitar stuff on there, and then I'll have more time freed up. And still at that, I'm going to be doing bass, and Julian's going to be doing vocals and drums. So it's going to be just something to keep your eye out for, okay? Thanks, guys, for tuning in. That's Stryper, The Way, Robert Sweet, the drummer. Woo! We'll talk to you later. See ya.